has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. This is James Robinson, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
They go play action now. Lawrence. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down. And that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll find ETN out of the backfield. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. On the return is Williams. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Lions will take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to do.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Josh Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lawrence to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. They'll test the perimeter. But that time, they'll run to the challenge.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Lawrence finding Kirk there for the Jaguar first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
From the 44, Watson escaping the pressure right. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. He'll get it inside the 20, and he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Right back to Swift again on second down. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, but it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Lions use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal is not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on is not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. Here's Swift. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So a great second effort there as he's able to stay upright and get into the end zone.
I think not just a second effort. I think a third effort was what got him in. Maybe possibly even a fourth.
Yeah, whatever it was, he was not going to be denied. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
2nd and 6. Now Lawrence to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. Occasionally, you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The tackle made there by Jared Davis. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 8 coming up. Now Lawrence. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. No surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action with Lawrence. Complete to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll go again with Etienne. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
This defense really thrown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Lions are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
On 2nd down, Swift. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Watson. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So, Charles, this organization used a high pick to acquire this man's defensive services, and that's a good reason why right there, as he's able to force the safety.
Yeah, it's not just his athletic ability that they drafted. They love his mind. And to me, he saw that play develop in his head before the snap. He knew the point he needed to get to. An unbelievable instincts for the game came to the front. Heck of a play he just made right there.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Lions are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Watson trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Jags grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. 20. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score.
The kicker on for the extra
The big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
Midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, it might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Lawrence. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Up and good for Santoso. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Watson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Lions are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. ETN up the middle, and he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got to pick me for? It's my turn now to make the big play. That's exactly what he did.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On the counter, ETN. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On play action, Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Up and good for Santoso, and that'll move them back within 6 now. But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the 2nd half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Watson now going to run the option right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 14 yards that time, and a 1st down on the keeper.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Swift to about the 40-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
pass run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Watson. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Down to about the 32.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 2nd and 7, Watson. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And they'll work this down inside the 30. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now it's Watson. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
ETN once more. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Derek Barnes leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up far too often.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. Misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
81 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll run right here with Swift. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Lions add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a fifth straight victory. They'll try to run with Swift. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Only able to gain a couple there at its second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like the game believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They'll go option to the short side. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a third down. Swift will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone. Into this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's a give to Etienne. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Lawrence. And now here's another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now a give, right side, Swift. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He lost 6 there on the first down play. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
110 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jaguars are going to have it here at their own 15. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrad Davis. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Watson. Here's Fuller with a catch. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And it's a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Not a lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, look good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a 1st down.
Going for it, here's ETN. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the 1st down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. What a performance. All those points put on the board. And Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah.